Ah, the garden patch. Wind chimes. Little millions of tomato plant. Roma tomato, which something happened to him. Boy, I don't know. Something came and ate him, I suppose. Hummingbird feeder, which we have lots of hummingbirds here. Bell pepper, which I just threw a bunch of seeds in there. We'll see what happens. And our new addition today is red veined sorrel, which is edible. We'll see if it grows. Oh, hi, 'tis me. Hi there, you. Are you a satisfied customer? What's going on? He's been grousing a little bit. You haven't missed anything, buddy. I shared everything I had to eat today with you. It was a lovely Tuesday today. Got up to 73 degrees Fahrenheit, which made me feel just awful and guilty that people back in St. Louis and on the East Coast and even in Texas are freezing their butts off. I'm glad I'm not there, but I feel kind of bad that they have to go through all that. But I'm very glad I'm not there. Whew. Today, Ashley's been thinking of maybe a couple improvements to the yard, tree or bush or something like that. So she went over to this nursery today, and I went with her. And her sister called her on the phone and said that she was going to go over to this nursery and would Ashley like to meet her. And she said, we're already over here. So her sister Kim came. So it was Ashley, Kim, and I wandering around looking at plants. She wants to redo the yard a little bit, but not sure exactly what the names of the plants are and how expensive they are. And that's what her scouting mission was today. And there are lavender plants and rosemary plants all through this neighborhood, which I think I can try to grow on a cutting if I snatch a little branch of it from people's as we go on our walk. Don't know, haven't decided yet. I bought a sorrel plant today. Don't know much about it. I know you can use it in cooking and you can eat it. So that's good enough for me. If it grows, hooray. If it doesn't, it costs $3. And I know when you're counting every penny, $3 is a lot, but I figured let's see if I can learn how to grow stuff. And while we were there wandering around, this elderly fella, probably in his 90s at least, I don't know, he came upon Ashley and her sister and were asking them if they speak English. Do you speak English? And yes, we speak English. And he comes up to me and goes, do you speak English? And I noticed an accent, so I said, "Sí." It came out of my mouth. And I said, io parlo italiano, and also German. And, he was interested. So he struck up a conversation. Nice fellow, very lonely. And he was born in Portugal. And he was probably, in his early to mid-90s, I would say. And he remembers when the war was over and when Hitler died and all that stuff. He was remembering all this stuff and how he could speak fluent German and Portugal and how it's beautiful there, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, what is your favorite food from there? And I can't remember exactly how the word went, but it's like the Italian bacala, which is, they take cod fish and they freeze dry it, or they dry it out, and you have to reconstitute it. That way, I guess sailors on ships could carry this dried fish with them. All they have to do is reconstitute it and they could have codfish, basically, is what it is. He was tickled that I knew what it was. Do I know food? Anyway, we had a nice conversation. Ashley and her sister were talking about this plant or that plant and this tree or that bush. And I was just talking to this guy, and he was so happy to talk to somebody. His mind was very foggy. Which reminds me of what the rest of the vlog here, video is going to be about. Well, I said goodbye, shook his hand. Of course, I washed my hands, sanitizer and stuff when I got to pay for the plant and when I came home. Because you do. That's what you got to do now. And yesterday, in the mail, I received an email saying, "Hey, would you read the narrator and offstage voice for my 3 one-acts?" I said, "Yeah, sure. I don't get paid for it. It's voluntary, but I like doing it." I said, "Sure." And she sent me the script, and I was reading through it. One is called Labyrinth. I'm not really sure what that one's about. It uses a lot of big words and fancy language. Brian said, "Well, when people want to sound smart, they use fancy language." The second one was about someone's inner self when they were 4 years old, and their inner self now speaking to their 4-year-old self, thinking about stuff. There's a lot of thinking about stuff, one act. And then the third one was about a woman whose mother had dementia, was in a nursing home, and it was about the mother's diamond ring. The mother gives the daughter the diamond ring, and then she has it put in a different setting, and then a few weeks later the mother asks for it back, and she goes back to the jeweler, gets that setting, but puts a cubic zirconia in there, not a diamond. And the mother wears it, and she gives it to the daughter. "I want to give you my diamond ring," which it's not. So the daughter was wearing both of them, and then the mother was asking where her diamond ring. You know, dementia is a very foggy brain, and you don't remember stuff. And then toward the end of this little 10-minute vignette, the mother dies. And I don't know, it just all these various emotions in these 3 one-acts just came flowing out of my heart and my brain, and I was in tears almost, and I couldn't sleep. Even though my mom and I did not have a good relationship, it's the thought of losing someone. And I lost my brother Richard, and even though we didn't have the best relationship either, because he was not the brightest bulb in the box, and I just couldn't get along with him very well because he was just way too simple. But still, what happened to him shouldn't have, and I feel really guilty about not pursuing it and trying to get legal action for him unnecessarily dying. And I feel real bad about it and guilty about it all the time. So it brought up all these memories and stuff, and I just felt terrible. I was really glad when Ashley asked if I would like to go along to the nursery. It really helped me out. And talking to this guy, I mean, everything happens for a reason. That's what I think. Whether you say it's God or just things that happen or whatever, I don't know. But sometimes you have to work through things in life. It's unpleasant. It's drudgery. It's scary. But you got to do it to advance and become more of this person that you are. That's all there is to it. I actually went to Chili's, which is a restaurant. She ordered stuff and brought it home. I got it like a fancy schmancy hamburger that had fried onion bits on top and bacon and cheese, which I scraped off, gave to the cat. French fries. Wow, you almost had to unhinge your jaw and open it. Wide enough. But the sun is setting. I have some things to do. Oh, I finally got all my books on the bookshelf. There's the CDs and the books. And down toward the bottom are kids' books. So whenever Felix does come, he can go right there. At the bottom shelf, there's a little purple divider box and has kid books in it. So at least I know where they are. So when I want to make a video of me reading them, which I need to do, then I know where they are. I have one shelf is totally language books. German, French, Italian, a lot of Italian grammar, Italian reading books, verbs, blah, 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 history of Italian people, blah, blah, blah. I've got a lot of that. One shelf I've got Hitchhiker's Guide, got Douglas Adams books. Then I've got funny stuff like Calvin and Hobbes and R. Crumb's cartoons and stuff like that. Then I have informational books, History of Venice, natural health remedies, the herb book, homeopathy, and my yearbook from high school and Brian and Scott's yearbook from high school, senior year. They needed to have them in their future, so I brought them along. Alright, oh my god, I've talked way too long, as usual. I do have a joke for you, because tomorrow's Woof Woof Wednesday. And Thursday, I'm going to work on the history of bear. That just for you, Deb. Upward and onward.